Okay, well, this will be part 2 of whatever I'm gonna call this series, probably Exploring Ottawa or something. Right now I'm still in Place d'Orleans, and I'm underneath a giant skylight dome structure. But you can't tell, it's getting late. The stores and the mall are all starting to close down. I have no idea what that distress siren was, but, or alarm. But yeah, so I'm gonna start walking out now. I'm gonna go out. Well, this is. It looks like, I guess this looks like the lower level entrance right here. Okay. If I can't find a way to get out from that area down there, that direction, then I'll come back here and go out that way, because it's starting to close up. And I'm gonna try and just go to the urgent care walk-in center that's just across the road for a possible physical appointment. So I should also apologize. I will for sure talk about what I wanted to talk about with the whole well, with that what I brought up about the whole comment that I received on, like, the Made It to Ottawa video, about how, like, these videos I'm making have no substance. What I wanted to tie that into, I didn't end up talking about in the last part, because I got, well, preoccupied with explaining other stuff and showing other things. But this time I definitely will try and talk about it here. But later on. But I apologize for that at the moment, that I didn't right then and there. Yeah, so I'm getting very nervous of all the music that's playing, in case I'm gonna have to either mute some of the audio or potentially, if it gets, I don't care, again, I don't care if my videos get copy claimed. I'm not making monetization off of them anyway, at least as of right now, and I don't have any future plans to, all going well. But oh, another sky dome of some kind. Yeah, so I don't care if they get claimed, but again, a strike would be very unwelcome and very annoying. But oh, there's an exit out here. Okay, so right here. La 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 la. Just can't hear that. Oh, there's also a bank in here. I didn't know that. Oh, and hey, once again, French titling first. Scotiabank. Oh no, wait, what am I talking about? It's English and French. But in most of the cities I've seen, it's only been English that's been, well, plastered on it. Bank of Scotia, I don't know if that's what that says. Okay, there we go. See you later, Place d'Orleans. Okay. Oh God, I can't. No, the copyright. I can't escape it anywhere. Okay, all right. I think I've outrun it. The YouTube copy claim system won't get me now, or at least I've avoided them for a little longer. Okay. I don't know what. I don't know what end exactly I came out on. Oh, never mind. Now I know exactly what end I came out on. Where's the sky? Where's the sky bridge? Where's the walkway? Is that it up there? No, it is not. Where the hell is where's the walkway? This is on a slant. Okay, there's a Farm Boy grocery store there, which is apparently, I've never seen a Farm Boy before. I don't know if they're just more popular in Northern Ontario or something, but where is that damn skyway? Or the sky walkway? I cannot see it. Is that it over there? Oh, wait, is that... No, let me get back to you. Hold on. Okay, I would like to preface that I feel really stupid right now. Because I don't know why I'm back inside the mall, as it's just closed, walking out the front entrance and exit that I realistically should have gone out the first time. Mainly because God, I'm such an idiot. Okay. I thought that please tell me this was the actual front entrance and I'm not another idiot. And I'm not being a bigger idiot. Oh, God. Well, now I feel like an even bigger moron. Forget everything I was about to say for a minute. Hold on a sec. Okay, for the love of God, finally, I found what I was looking for. So, I went out the other way. I thought in my fickle mind, I thought that going out that way was just gonna loop around to this, like, to the front side of the building, because I thought this was the front entrance, and then I would just come out, like, on the opposite side of the front. But then I realized that was the back end, not where I wanted to be. So then I came out back here, and I thought that was the front entrance, but apparently no, it goes to the parking garage. So then I was like, well, fuck, where am I? So I walked around here, still couldn't see, like, the walkway bridge that I came in on, and then I get around the corner and I'm like, it's right there. So, okay, so that little dilemma solved somewhat, and why this sidewalk is, again, or if it's supposed to be a sidewalk, which it looks like it is because it turns into it. I don't know why it's slanted, but it's cool enough to walk on. Yeah, okay, that little dilemma is solved. Now, so I drank just a little conclusion to the exciting adventure of me drinking a smoothie in this stupid French wording French people mall. That was a joke for all you Quebecois out there. That was a joke. So I ordered the durian smoothie, the Indonesian garbage fruit, and it didn't smell as potent as I thought it would. I drank it. It was good enough. Although I got a little more than last time, and honestly, I started to taste the sweetness a bit more, and it was starting to get a little sickly sweet. So I guess if you consume durian in large quantities, it can be like a bit sickly on your digestive tract, that is, at least. And then I got some Thai food, or well, yeah, I was about to go Thai food, but it's more authentic Thai food than, like, well, it's more authentic than certain other, like, mass corporate so-called foreign fast food chains, I guess would be the proper word. I got well, yeah, it was Thai Express, so they're more authentic than most, so it was good. And interestingly enough, what I talked about in the last video, with how here in the Orleans district of Ottawa, at least, there's a lot more French wording and names for certain streets and things like that, and places, as is evident. Even the packaging here in Ottawa, there's a lot more heavy prevalence of French, actually, on certain packages being first, or at least in this part of the city, French being first and English being second, like on the packaging. Which, again, I actually thought that was only just while you're in Quebec, where the French is first, English is second. But no, I guess just any in the regions of other province, well, in the closer regions of the provinces that touch Quebec, Ontario, New Brunswick, that actually, yeah, I think those are the only two that actually touch Quebec. Well, and the Labrador half of Newfoundland and Labrador. So those three touch Quebec. So just maybe in the closer regions to the province, they also distribute a lot of more packaging and labeling that's French first and English second because it's close to the border. I don't know, but that's just a guess. So yeah, enjoyed that. I charged my phone up a bit, not all the way, but I'm gonna do that more once I try and get to see a physician here at some point. So yeah, now I'm going to wherever that walking clinic is. I'm gonna have to find that. So yeah, I'll check back in afterwards. That's a very bright light. Well, let me set this down. Some bad news. So the walking clinic that I tried to get to, which I'm now standing in front of, is closed. Apparently they changed their hours according to what I had read online, so yeah, oh well. Try again another day. But yeah, so that's that. In terms of, well, okay, first I'm just gonna let my phone get a bit more charge, and then I'm gonna walk back to where I'm situated, just for the night, and then yeah, I'll talk a bit more about things I want to, I guess, address, show more around this district at night, through a different route, and I'm gonna take actually a different route that I've never been down. That apparently it goes right back to, in the last video, that roundabout that I showed, like the first roundabout. Well, yeah, the first roundabout, right by the long row of sumac bushes and that sculpture art piece. And along there, in, again, the middle of the suburbs, there's apparently a waterfall. Just a waterfall off to the side, like a small little just runoff waterfall. Well, actually, I don't know, again, like with one of the, again, the last video that I made, or what will be the video before this, that creek on the side of the road on Jean d'Arc, or close to Jean d'Arc, where I was, the street Jean d'Arc where I was walking. I don't know if it was human-made or not, but, and I don't know if this waterfall is human-made. I guess once I see it better, I'll get to know, or get a bit of an idea if it was. Saw some of it on Google Maps, but didn't get the fullest idea. My eye is twitching a bit, I don't know why. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna let my phone get a bit more charge and then, get going. So, okay, good way to get back on topic. I let my phone gather some charge, just sitting on a bench by that medical center, and now I am on now I'm back right to going to pass by the back end of Place d'Orléans. So all of this was almost completely pointless, going out the ways that I did, so fuck it. And I have enough charge, I think, to last me a while, so I'm probably gonna record longer than I may mean to, but yeah, whatever. So right now I'm walking along what is called St. Joseph's Street, so more of an English name, not a French Quebecois name. And yeah, just I'm going this way because I looked, like I said, I looked on the map, and there is a waterfall just in the suburbs along this road, which I think is probably going to be very cool to check out, or at least be very interesting to see. It's called either Princess Louis or Louise Waterfall. I'm going to assume with the way it's spelled it's Louise. Princess Louise Waterfall. Don't know what princess it's named after, if it's from the English monarchy or whatever else. I have no clue. Yeah, it's getting colder out right now, and because I'm getting over sickness, I'm getting over the sickness from the last few days, and, well, because of the temperature drop, I'm, I guess, somewhat disassociating more, and also, well, it's just that combined with the temperature drop is muddling my cognition. I'm having a bit of, like I said earlier, brain fog or cognitive fog, but the cold definitely isn't exactly helping, so, oh well. It's very peaceful, quiet night. Oh, just going across the road. There's no cars wanting to turn. It's just, this one actually has the flashing it. Yeah, the indicator. Wait, what? Oh. Well, wait, what the hell? What the fuck? I thought that meant, like, it was to slow down, to stop, or, like, start getting it. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother to understand it right now. It's defective right now. Or at least I'm considering that defective. So, I don't know. I don't know. Not even gonna bother to analyze that right now. Maybe it just does that on a timed basis, like an automatic timer, just when there's no cars turning, if it can detect that, it just flashes the different signals. I don't know. Because I thought, like, that meant the hand flashing was you can cross but make it quick, and also anyone coming behind you slow down. So maybe not, because then immediately after that it flashed the walk symbol. Oh god. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about, as I'm getting to now, if I can ever stop sniffling. While walking there, and at the percentage of charge that I have, and I may, as I said, I may need to charge it while walking along this way, so I just have my portable charger just in my pocket, and the cord attached to it so that I can just stick it in and keep it there, at least get some amount of charge. I want to talk about, like I said in the last video, I addressed that comment that was left on my Made It to Ottawa video, the one that's the only one that's there right now. Okay. And that person had their turn signal on for a little too long, in my opinion. But, oh well. I said it would tie into something that I kind of wanted to talk about later, which it did, and it still does, and I'm gonna talk about it right now, because I forgot to in the last one, or I got preoccupied. So, basically, I'm not gonna so much just dwell on the comments. I don't want to get it. I said what's in that video, like the main points that I talk about in that video, leaving it at that for who I was directing it at, for the most part, staying there. Not fully bringing it into this, but the concept of that comment, like I guess the idea behind it is what I want to more so talk about, rather than the comment itself. Like, specifically the part of how stop making these no substance videos. So, okay, talk about it when I get across the street. Hold on. I just crossed the street. There's these very, I don't know if I want to call them high-tech or advanced, but also very primitive or old-fashioned style traffic cameras of some kind. I've never seen traffic cameras like that, but they kind of look like they have the head, the camera body looks like an old, what is it? An old, not a Polaroid, well, maybe a Polaroid camera of some kind, like a very old Polaroid camera, or maybe like an old, very old 1980s video camera, you know, the ones with like the box shape that you could get the film pressed onto a VHS and stuff like that. But anyway, the whole concept of that comment, like the no substance, and I'm not going to specifically, I guess, talk about my videos, because I already said, like, addressing that comment, well, I think it's silly, at least in my opinion, and I'm not doing that just to, like, defend my ranting at all costs. I'm just saying, for what I talk about, what I try to talk about. But anyway, just like the style of video, more so like this whole, what I guess it's, again, my channel has pretty well become now lifestyle vlogging, or life vlogging, more, well, they're the same thing. What do I mean more specifically? Just, it is a lifestyle. So those are nifty lit up cars. That whole, this idea, like, here's the thing. I seem to see a lot of, like, this prejudice, or this negative thought process go around towards lifestyle vloggers. There's a lot of people who, I guess, are more of the, what would I say, in the community on YouTube, more of the, I guess, I don't want to say gamer side, because I'm a gamer too. I'm just, I'll just say, there are certain aspects of different communities that, on the platform, that really have, I'm gonna wait for this car to pass. Okay. That really have this negative stigma towards just filming your life or vlogging. Now, I can see why. I can see, because don't get me wrong, there are many channels, like I would call lifestyle influencers. And again, I really hate how the connotation of influencer has just been used to, it's been associated with that whole, the association of that word to more of like in terms of lifestyle vloggers, more of like a narcissist, or someone who's more narcissistic, showing off how basically perfect their life is. Like, look at my perfect daily routine. Look at my, or just someone who's very egocentric. Look at my perfect life. Look at what I have, this $1 million mansion, this beauty care line, things along that sort, and stuff like that. Very, like, we're very petty and very vain. Like, that's mainly what, or as well as histrionic too, caring about, like, trying to present themselves as being perfect to other people. Or also maybe even like narcissism, believing that their life is perfect. And obviously it means it's egotistical as well, but or they could even be attention seeking, but anyway, or attention seeking traits. But anyway, that's more of like what the whole the title of lifestyle influencer more so, but also that's what the title of lifestyle influencer has kind of like it's been associated with, and it's kind of like those whether negative or not, like whether to an encroaching extent in whoever the vlogger is to their personality and behavior, those tendencies and traits, those personality characteristics have just again, I'm gonna wait for the cars here. Those personality characteristics have basically taken on being associated fully with just filming like aspects of your life, or like making your channel and your content centered around adventures or just explorations and outings in your just daily life. That's what making that kind of content has been associated with. And I would say as well, people automatically, because of that, associate the term should I cross here to see the waterfall? Yeah, why not? Better than just fucking hoofing it across the major roadway, even if there's barely any cars. Basically, the term lifestyle vlogger has been associated with lifestyle influencer. That's been associated with those personality characteristics. Or at the very least, or if you want to go further, some people I guess view it as saying with the whole narcissism, they associate people like that with having egotistical or narcissistic personality disorder, or attention-seeking personality disorder, or something, or any of those, basically. Or histrionic personality disorder. But anyway, I think this is very much an unfair stigma, and again, as I've said in things before, more specifically the skit I did relating to pornography and me wanting to be a pornographer, it's more of, again, I feel saying that about all lifestyle vloggers is very much painting a one-sided narrative. And is this light gonna turn? No? Okay. I'm starting to realize, I think I may actually, I don't know if this is like every city and I just never noticed it, but I think I may, if it's like not, I think some traffic light systems might be set up like for when you press the actual buttons, that's the only time that the symbols actually will eventually appear. If they don't have anything to detect like motion or walking motion or anything, then it might just be timed at specific, I think there's cities that just like lighting systems that just time it, like have it on a timer in coordination with the lights, and like the traffic that's moving, what direction it's moving in. And others, it might just be you have to press the button. So I think I'm just gonna press the button. Okay. Let's see if it changes. And it changed immediately. Okay. So I guess my theory might be right. Okay. Anyway, I feel it's very unfair to say that. Not just, well, because here's the thing. I obviously now, and even before I went on this whole trek from Toronto to Ottawa, I did obviously make some more, I made talking point videos, I made commentary videos, and I guess in a sense that with the way I edited them, or the way I shot them and what I did for them was more, it was more personal, and it was more, like, it was not as heavily edited, it was, as most of my, non fully entertainment or skit videos like sketch comedy videos are. It was very much more of my personal life, or a part of me just in daily life. Is more presented, I presented them, or tried to present them, in more of just me in my daily life talking about the issues that I want to talk about, like commentary on it. I didn't have any major like flashy editing or anything like that, and I'm not trying to... That is a really loud... I don't know if they got like a turbo booster on that muffler or whatever on their car, but anyway, I'm not knocking anyone who edits. I'm not saying editing's bad. I'm not knocking anyone who does editing, heavy editing for their, well, unless it's like unless what I'd be consider over editing, but just anyone editing their commentary videos and making it a bit more, I guess, artistically appealing, or more composed in a certain way with their thoughts and stuff, or writing a script for the points they want to make, or if they want to do comedy bits in there, or if people use green screens for image display, or just editing in video footage, different more cinematic video footage or things like that, or just basically doing special effects of any kind. I'm not knocking anyone who just merely does that and doesn't it doesn't do it, in my opinion, over the top, like to a chaotic extent where they're trying to like make it seem very, very artistically superior. I don't know if that's the right word, but again, a bit worn out right now. But anyway, that being said, I think it's really unfair to label people just in their daily lives making content talking about issues that either they have faced or people around them, or just talking about topics that relate to their daily life and others' daily lives. I don't think it's fair to label it as like no substance or not trying, because, well, excuse me. Well, maybe it's a bit of me not trying and not editing that out. But, no. But, anyway. Mainly because I think, because daily life, despite what I think certain communities in YouTube can have this, like, they can have this distaste, I guess, for certain things that happen in daily life. Maybe they're projecting because they don't very much like their daily lives, which is the projecting part is not as understandable to an extent. Then again, as I talked about before, with my whole moral dilemmas, to talk about trauma in any way, you kind of do need to project in some sense, at least logically, I feel now. But oh, good, garbage on the grass. Yeah, great. Anyway, that was sarcasm, if you couldn't tell. What are you? Oh, you're a rock. Okay. So I thought this thing here, I thought for a second that was like a raccoon or something that was just hunched over, because it was dark. When I was coming up on it, there was a bit of a shadow casting over it from the lights. Or at least from where I was, it looked like a shadow, but I don't know if the camera picked it up or not. But anyway, I think people sometimes get and don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly, as you can tell by these videos that I make, I'm not thrilled about my daily life. Don't get me wrong, logically, there are good moments in it for me. There are things that I do enjoy, that I do love, that make me happy, and make other people happy that I see in their daily lives too. But what I'm saying is there are also things that don't. And so I get that there's a certain sense of like, there's this superiority type behavior, or superiority mindset, I guess, towards people who don't consume daily life vlogs, or who focus more on watching stuff to do with, like, say, political analysis, or media reviews, like entertainment reviews of movies, of video games, of shows, books, things to do like that, or just in the more artistically creative community, or in the people who consume a lot of the animation community and things like that. And I'm not, again, not saying everyone. This is definitely, it doesn't represent, in my opinion at least, a lot of, like, the majority. It's just, should I have not crossed the fucking road here? This point in the right direction. This goes around here. And I don't know where that leads. Okay. Anyway, I'll deal with that in a sec. Also, there's really cool rock formation along here. Didn't, again, see much of stuff like this in Toronto or Peterborough. Don't get me wrong, something like this, I'm sure they had something like that. It's just I didn't see it. Anyway. I don't want to say the majority, and even if I did say majority, I still don't want to say all. Because logically, it's definitely not. Oh, no, is that a crosswalk? That is a crosswalk, okay. Good. But there are those who unfortunately seem to, and again, I'm not blaming the creators logically in the communities who project their opinions of, say, they think like that a lot of lifestyle vloggers are very vapid, or very oh god, move. Yep. Well, we might not be vapid, but we may be spatially unaware. No, that was just one little mistake. Should have moved a little quicker. But anyway, I'm just gonna stand here for a second, not even cross the road. I'll stand on the grass so they don't think I'm crossing. I think that's better. Okay. Basically, if a creator voices their opinion that they think a lot of lifetime vloggers are very self-centered, or very very much obsessed with their own gratification, and it's like self-gratification, and just being very conceited and things like that. I'm not blaming, though I don't fully agree with them. I'm not I'm not blaming them for, like, how their audience interprets that, or how they choose to behave, because again, I logically feel there is absolutely no way to control or police that except through education, and people's understanding. Oh god, my eye. But now, does that mean they shouldn't, like, try and change their views, or, like, better represent said people in that community? No, I absolutely think they should. It's just, I'm just saying, even so, I don't think they can be held, like, legally in any sort accountable. And if it wasn't, if that wasn't their intent, then I don't think it should be, like, they should be put to, like, people should be spiting them for that anyway, because again, I don't think it can be controlled. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I think there's a lot of people who come out of those communities and just, they have a very negative connotation towards the lifestyle vlog, well, lifestyle. But here's the thing, just merely filming your daily life, it doesn't have to be lack of substance. Like, to me, the way I see it at least is, there are things like, how do stories get created? Because of what people experience and what they learn. And that comes from our experiences in daily life, or that's how you even grow as a person. And hell, you could have... Why the fuck? There's an interesting fucking experience. What? Really? Are you fucking serious? You want to talk about fucking self-centered assholes? There you go. Speeding down the freeways, no care in the world for the other vehicles. Not being safe at all. Anyway, back to the point. There are interesting things that can happen to other people as well. Like, what you view as being interesting, people can have the opinion that what happens in daily life is very interesting, or it's very intriguing learning about how people behave, what they do in their daily activities, what just small little slice of life adventures they have. Or at least it's intriguing to me. Like, I don't think, like, to me, the lifestyle vloggers that I follow, or at least who are some of my favorite content creators, I feel that that type of content done well is very, like, it's very, one, it's educational, I think, in terms of how people live. Two, it's, for entertainment purposes, it's very down to earth, in my opinion. It's very like average person type feel. Now, then again, don't get me wrong, there are daily vloggers who obviously are of higher end wealth, who have accumulated more finance accumulated more money than an average person, or at least are more upper class. But even so, there are those who aren't obsessed with their money and actively try and help others with it, but still talk about what goes on in their daily life. And again, it shows what really could possibly be going on. Like, in terms of not being very, like, not bragging about what they have or things like that, but just detailing what they experience, like experiences that they have, to maybe even, as something I do, like with this, to maybe help others going through something similar. Like, if they're, like, I've said the reasons of starting this channel when I did start it is I want to entertain others, provide them with, I wanted to do comedic sketches to give some relaxation and escapism, and also, though, talk about issues that I felt were important, do some comedic commentary on them, and also, though, make actual down-to-earth, like, not very heavily edited commentary videos on issues I wanted to discuss, sociological, psychological, philosophical, geographical, cultural, just anything, daily life, just worker struggle, just things like that. I want to talk about issues that people face in their daily lives, that it affects, things that really affect everyone, despite what some may believe, at least in my opinion. So I don't think like this. So that's the reason I started this channel, was for that. And also for myself to, as I wanted to try it out, and also, again, bring entertainment to people, and to try and break for perfectionist habits that I have, that I've talked about. And okay, I'm really starting to notice that there are a lot of people who just love trying to... Your dicks and tits aren't gonna grow 5 inches bigger by revving your motors. Just fucking... Anyway, anyway. Point being, I started for that reason, and if also for the whole entertainment purposes and commentary, to try and help people struggling with similar thoughts or experiences that I may be struggling with. That's something that I think, even that if people talk about their daily life in vlog form, it can help with. And I think, because I even see this in a lot of bigger YouTubers say this, like, I remember, and this, don't any of the, okay, I'm going to speak about one of my favorite YouTubers, personally, Jacksepticeye, for a second. Sean, in my opinion, he is from what I've seen of him, a fantastic guy. He's very loving, genuine, he seems compassionate, caring, he's very eccentric, he's excitable, he's very comedic, good with comedic timing, all those things. He's an incredible person from what I've seen of him. Again, parasocial relationship. And he's an incredible content creator. That being said, though, he did say something in a video recently, and I think it was relating to the whole try not to get age-restricted challenge that was going on, that still is going on, I'm pretty sure, to do with how YouTube seemed like unfairly treating and also blatant racism or racial prejudice towards, and favoritism towards Corey, God, I can't remember the full name of his channel, Corey X Courier, Corey, towards Corey. Basically, Sean was talking about that. It was a great video that he made, like, talking about the issue. But he did say something that kind of caught my attention. It was a quick thing, and I don't know whether he actually, like, if he fully really was thinking about what he said, or if, like, he absolutely, like, 100%, like, I don't know if he just said it off, like, off the cuff, if he, like, if he really thought about it, or he just thought, oh yeah, this is a bit of good advice for it, or if he genuinely just believe it. I don't think any regard he meant it with malice intent at all. It's the smallest thing. It's not anything major. It's just, he said something along the lines of, like, that YouTube tends to, in terms of their algorithm and recommendations, they tend to push, or they seem to push a lot more professionally edited videos, like more heavily cinematic videos, more and in terms, even in daily life vloggers, they tend to push just very high-end edited videos, more so than, say, someone who doesn't have maybe the means or the skills to edit, like, high quality. And Sean kind of, like, he was like, he said, I kind of think that, from what I remember, he said, I kind of think that's a good thing. I kind of think that encourages people to try a bit more with their editing and stuff like that. I think it's better that they're pushing more high-end, like, editing in videos. I'm sorry, Sean, I really have to disagree with that. I'm going to bring that up right now. I heavily think he was to disagree in that regard. But the thing is, it's not, I don't agree with that stance because, A, I think that in and of itself is very much a form of, as your video was responding to, I think that's very much a form of, if YouTube is more so encouraging that, I kind of feel that is a subtle form of favoritism, in a sense, like pushing more cinematic, like, video quality and things like that. Because in regards to smaller YouTube channels, many don't have some of them don't have the techniques to, they don't have the technique to be able to pull it off, or they don't have the actual equipment needed for it. So it's pretty unfair in that regard. And also, I don't think that's, what I'm trying to, God, word finding issues right now, neurological word finding issues. God, the dry cough, and the cold. What am I trying to say? Okay, here's the thing. I don't think that should be, like, the prevalent thing in, like, commentary on YouTube. Like, for the reasons that, like, here's the reason why I don't heavily edit a lot of my now more recent videos, and going forward what it seems like I'll be doing on this channel for the duration of my existential and morality crisis, or until I find some other realization or whatever else, with it, for it. But in terms of my commentary videos, I do edit, even with the shitty editing app that I have, a small, very low-grade shitty editing app that I used for my sketch comedy. For these commentary videos, I don't edit them very heavily because I feel like it's more... I feel that me speaking truly from like what I'm feeling in the moment and what I want to talk about and what I feel about it without a script, unscripted, for me personally, and I'm not, again, knocking anyone who does script their videos for it, because I think it can be done greatly. Most of my favorite commentary videos actually do, like, larger commentary videos, like, most of my favorite videos. Commentary channels, my favorite commentary channels, a lot of them do script their videos and put a lot of heavier editing into them. That being said, I think being more down-to-earth like this, for me personally, I like this method, like this style, for me, because to me it feels less performative. It feels more personal, it feels more speaking directly from care. And I don't want that to sound like the commentary channels that I follow don't care about their content, because have to say logically again because of my existential crisis, but logically I feel that from what I've seen of them, they do actually care. As far as I'm aware now, they care about the commentary that they're making, and they just want to they think that though aesthetically the editing would do a lot for artistic creation. However, in terms of my style, what I personally feel to be also a good method for other channels to do as well, and I'm not the only one who does this, there are many that do this as well, like smaller channels that do this. I feel that it's more, again, I'm just going to keep using the word down to earth. It feels more personable. Like, it feels more... you're speaking your true mind. And again, that's not always good. I'm not saying that's good. Again, people make mistakes. You can be wrong with speaking your mind. You can be wrong with what you have scripted. You can be wrong with all that. I'm just saying, to me, this style just feels more authentic. I guess authentic is a better word. For me personally, it feels more authentic to do this. And just so, I heavily disagree with him on the fact that YouTube pushes, that they recommend more heavily cinematized and like heavily edited, more, again, professionally made video, what it would be called professionally made videos. As long as you're genuinely trying with your stuff, I genuinely think, even if you're not trying, I think just in a fair democratic system, you should have your voice heard no matter what it is, as long as you're not getting to the point of harassment, and also as long as you're not physically endangering someone, like physically hurting them. Because again, even though I hate it, you can't exactly control psychological hurt, but, well, I mean, you can't police what could be considered psychological hurt. It's just, and pain. It's just, do I think you should be doing that? No. Legally, should you, like, socially, should you be doing that? No. Legally, should you have the right to do that? Yeah, is the sad thing. At least logically, I feel. And in more terms of libertarianism and all that, my beliefs toward that, and my values for that. But, anyway, so, again, not knocking Sean for that, it's just, I really disagree with that point he brought up. And again, maybe he might not have been thinking about what he said. He might have thought, oh, that's more like encouraging people to do, like, try different things with their editing and stuff like that. And maybe he thought that, or maybe he genuinely does believe that. It's just, I personally disagree with it. Oh, God. Swallowed phlegm wrong. Okay. How much charge do I have right now? Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna cross the road now. Damn. My wrist is actually kind of stiff from holding the camera like this in the cold. It kind of locked up my muscles near my wrist and carpal tunnel. But anyway, right now it's again just walking under some. Are these fruit trees of any kind? I don't know, and I'm not gonna get closer to that dark patch there to see. But oh, okay, no. For a second I thought that was the waterfall. That's not the water. That's oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, so this, I saw this on the map. This here, I know it's dark, you can't really see. I'm pretty sure this is the Orleans District Community Gardens. At least that's what, from what I saw on the map, it's on the same road as, well, it's on the same road as the Princess Louise waterfall. So, and this is the road, so, yeah, nice. I don't know if there's anything that, like, you can, like, pick for fresh vegetables or something, or it's just different natural Canadian plants that are actually indigenous to Canada and they've just planted them here. I don't know. But I'm not going to go in there right now to see. Anyway. So, the whole thing about lifestyle vlogging being like no substance content, I heavily disagree with. I don't agree that the fact that just because you don't edit your videos very much means that you're not trying. Like, I don't agree that that's what it means. It, like, just because, like, again, some people are shit at editing. They don't know how to edit, but they have things that they want to say. They want to express themselves in some way, artistically or just in commentary form. They want to do that. For maybe some of the reasons that I stated or other people have stated are things of the sort. So I don't think, and they should have the right to be heard. I don't think that heard and actually people should try and understand their point of view. I don't think that this, like, I'm gonna call it this idealization and, well, is it idealization? Well, idolization is more sort of towards a person. So I'll say idealization. This idealization of, as I've talked about before, I don't like idolization or idealization of people or of concepts and ideas. I don't like, or philosophies, ideologies. I'm sorry, I'm just letting someone go. I don't know why they stopped for me, considering it's the sign is a wait sign. It's a wait signal. But yeah, I don't like this idealization of, like, I don't like this pedestaling of high-end editing. I firmly believe, or at least right logically, I believe that when it comes to art, anything, not just artistic creation, but anything, maintenance, like designing of a car, of a building, of a garden, of a communal structuring of, like, townhomes, like subdivisions of cities, like the mapping and design of a city, the designing of planes, like design in general, fashion, and now going back to our, like, artistic creation, painting, storytelling, just, I don't, from what I feel, or in culinary arts, like, cooking, or just being a chef, like cooking food, or serving food, or things like that, I don't think, I very much think that let me move away from the road a bit. I very much feel that presentation and, like, the look of something, like the appearance of it, like, or how beautiful you make something look, should absolutely come second, or as, like, a very last. In terms of, like, okay, let's use story for example. if you're making entertainment that has a story, or you're trying, not even really a story, you're just trying to represent something, represent a feeling or an emotion in some way, or a concept or whatever else, the representation of that concept being done well, or the telling of that story, like writing that story well, should come first. Story, things that have a story should absolutely come first, the plot of it. Then the effects of whatever medium you're doing it in should come second. To me, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it'd be great if you have really nice and beautiful looking effects, or if you did what you could with the limited resources that you have to make it look very appealing to the eyes. But I'm not gonna, if you're trying to tell a story, I'm not going to, you can have all the flashy visual effects you want. You can have it, like, you could have the greatest looking CGI, you could have the best looking practical effects around, best makeup, best green screen work. You could have, like, the best that's been ever known to, to media history. If your story is shit, I don't care. Yeah, props to you for doing a great job with the visual effects, but your story is very lacking. And I firmly believe if you're trying to tell a story, that should absolutely come first. Or if you're trying to represent something, I don't care how the visual effects look. If you're not representing what you're trying to well, then it's just, well, it's watered down. The effect is dissolved. Like, the point of what you're trying to do is just completely dissolved. And again, same goes for a car. If you're a mechanical engineer or a car manufacturer, and you can make your car look like the flashiest, nicest Lamborghini. Like, here's the thing, like, the whole prevalence of, like, say, people who idealize Lamborghinis, like buying a very expensive car. You can have, like, have it be, like, really slim trim body, have, like, the most glossy paint job and glossy, like, frame exterior and things like that. The seats could be, like, painted gold, and the tires could be painted gold or whatever. And you could have, like, flames on the side of the car, whatever you're interested in. Like, you could have it look, like, beautiful, pristine. But if the car has no engine, then I don't care. I don't think you should care. You're not going to be able to work the car. You're not going to... If the car's, like, actual inner workings, like, mechanisms don't function well, then it's pointless. The Lamborghini fucking sucks. Yeah, you may have it... Yeah, you're just, the most that the Lamborghini is going to be good for is you keeping it in your garage as a fucking statue. It's not going to, as, like, a fucking a trophy, to look like, just like a flashy object. It does nothing. Yeah, it's great that you made it designed well. I think, like, if you want to make it visually appealing, like, make it, oh my god. Speaking of flashy fucking cars, Jesus Christ, that's, again, more drag racing. Can't escape it anywhere. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. Anyway, if you have, like, you can make things look very appealing. Like, people do like what they feel is to be beautiful, like what they find visually stimulating. You can make it, and again, for your own self-gratification, we have selfish tendencies, and I feel logically selfless tendencies too. A mix of both. You can... Okay, I just want to pause it for a sec, because I don't want to have to blur out any more audio that I may have to for this video. They were playing a cover of some popular song in their car. I just didn't want to have to blur it out. Copyrights! Anyway. Point being, you can have something be visually stimulating. Great! But have that come second to what the actual purpose of the thing is. It's the same way that I feel with sex and, like, sexual attraction and pornographic entertainment and like sexual entertainment and things like that. I firmly feel, or at least I logically feel, that the act of sexual engagement should be what is arousing to you. Should be what is, you are sharing a very sensual experience with someone. That is what should be enticing to you. Yeah, you can have, and again, visual attraction is a thing in relationships, and being physically attracted to someone is important, but again, that should come second. You can be like physically turned on by like how their appearance is, yeah, but it should be more turning you on what they're engaging in with you. Like the motions of their body are saying, like strip dancing or prostitution and things like that. The engagement should be what's arousing to you, or watching two people having a very intimate and sexual relation happening should be what is arousing, at least in my opinion. And the visual like beauty of the people or the performers should come second, if you get what I mean. Or at least I think logically it should. And again, people are flawed, have different opinions, and they engage. I'm sure this, again, like I said, I think that's a healthy way to engage, to include beauty in your, like, your attraction to something. It's just, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. It's just, beauty to me should firmly come as a second, or it should come last above everything else. Everything else is importance. So yeah, and so that's why I think YouTube really should not be pushing. They shouldn't be pushing. That's not what I wanted to say, at least for that context. They should not be pushing, like, they shouldn't be favoritizing higher quality edited videos, because other people who may not have the skills have things they want to say too, and have content that they genuinely want to share with people. And I think it's very unfair. I think it's kind of, I think from a bigger YouTuber perspective, to feel the way of like, oh, you need to have more professional editing, more greater cinematography, buy a better camera for better visual quality, not have like, as this camera has pixelation and stuff like that, you have like high resolution and stuff like that. I feel that's very self-righteous in a sense, and very like, it's very yeah, it's self-righteous. I think it's very like, it's very self-righteous of them. It's very egotistical, and I just think it's very much like, because everyone on YouTube, for the most part, some channels get depending on who they are, they get a company or studio sponsored boost, depending on, well, what genre of entertainment they're in. But for channels that started small and then grew to a large popularity extent, not anything of their fault, by the way, as I don't believe fame, I believe I talked about this before, I don't believe, but I can explain it again in more depth, I don't believe that you can actually really control fame, but like who becomes famous and whatnot. But for channels that were once small and then blew up, and then to say something like that, or hold that opinion when they came from something like this, I feel that's very much, well, I think that's very forgetting where you started from, like forgetting where you came from, like the community that you were once in, like the good aspects of the community that you were once in, or what you used to actually get up there. So anyway, yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about why I thought the whole like that lifestyle vlogging has no substance, I think is kind of, no, I think is very, personally, unless someone can change my mind, which I'm absolutely open to, I think I think that's very ridiculous. Okay, that was my rant about that. I'm gonna cross the road again. Okay, so I flipped the camera lens back around, or like, yeah, I just flipped it back around just to show more of my surroundings and stuff like that. So anyway, moving on from that, what else do I want to talk about along here? Well, one, I think we're getting close to the waterfall. Oh, and more sumac. That is very tall sumac. Those are really tall sumac. Like, seriously, they're growing to almost like the size of trees here. Okay. Yeah, that was my rant about that. Moving on. Oh, there's just a small, very vacant-looking house. Yeah, just enjoy the scenery right now. I don't really know if I have much else to say at the moment. There's not exactly, I mean, around here it's pretty standard for the most part. There's not exactly a lot. I guess there's a lot of trees. There's a lot of, well, there's this big cliff structure up here. This is very neat. At least to me. Now, Toronto, no, it had what is known as the Scarborough Bluffs in the Scarborough district. And this, well, obviously the Scarborough Bluffs are much higher and higher elevation than this. This is still very cool. Like, again, this is just in the middle of the suburbs. The Bluffs were like at the very edge of the Scarborough suburbs, but this this is like right smack in the middle of it, which I find it's fenced off, but I find it very interesting. Is that a, oh no, that's a shadow. Okay, I really am a dunce. I fucking, for a second I thought that was like the opening to, I was like gonna be like, oh my god, is that a small cave? And then I realized, oh yeah, it's a fucking shadow that's being casted from the light projection of these stupid lights on this sign. Okay. Okay, I'm running out of storage, it's starting to tell me, so I think I'm gonna save it until I get close to the falls. So, if I have anything else to talk about in this video, or I want to talk about, I'll bring it up then, when I get closer to it. Or I won't, or I'll forget and I'll just do it in another one. Okay, yep. See you at the falls when I find them. Oh, okay, damn it all. So I'm here at the light is kind of, I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but there's a small little creek running through here. This is the falls. You can't see it because of the darkness. So, shit. Oh well, I'm gonna have to come back another day. I don't know if I stand like farther back, maybe. It might be, you can see like, there's a bit of a drainage system below it. But they should be right above there. But again, I'm just amazed by the fact that it's like right in the middle of the suburbs. Yeah, there's a forested area here, but usually you don't see something like this anywhere, at least in Canada, as far as I've been able to, well, as far as to my knowledge, or what I've researched, but, oh, damn it. Well, not much use wasting it here, getting some shots, because, well, you can't see it. You can slightly see it, but it is a relatively large waterfall. Not like gigantic, but large for, again, the suburbs. And you can probably hear some of the runoff from it on the stones. But I'll come back another day when it's lighter out and you can actually, maybe I could actually go right through, you can go through to it and see it. Anyway, so along here, there's just some large trees. It's getting to be very dead on this roadway. But, yeah. So, what else can I talk about? With the charge that with the charge that I have in the, actually, yeah. I have a point about, pornography. Back to my, interest in pornography and being a sex worker in that industry. Or logically what I was aspiring to be. yeah, I have a point to make about that. Let me flip the camera. All right, so interestingly enough, probably gonna run out of time on this, but there's something that I should talk about. Something that I probably don't need to make this overly long, but I think it's interesting. So I think I've developed a bit of a, not developed, I don't want to say, I've come up with, at least, I haven't seen any, there's obviously in psychology, or more so psychiatry, for issues regarding addiction, but more specifically relating to porn addiction, which I don't suffer from, and I don't believe that pornography inherently causes porn addiction or anything like that. I think pornography is inherently good and can be used well. I don't think it's a terribly detrimental thing used properly or used in healthy ways. That being said, I've already discussed all that in previous videos. That being said, though, there are methods to know how someone may be habitually addicted to something, and how someone may be, like, being dependent on something, like dependency for a substance or a product. There's ways to tell if you are or aren't, like, habitually addicted to something. So there are obvious methods, such as these are the methods. One of them that I've actually found recently, and I don't even do this like to test if I'm developing an addiction or some kind. I just do it because I genuinely enjoy doing it. There's these methods that there's a few of them that I'd like to highlight here in case someone is suspecting that they're struggling with pornographic addiction, just to test, to see. As I've talked about this before, but I think I should probably, now that I've talked about the defense of sex work and how I think, and also some elements of the psychological elements of addiction, I think I should talk about, well, how you can possibly tell if you're addicted. And again, some of these you can look up just in your own research of psychology. And if, again, don't just take, again, I should preface this, because again, I have to say, despite my knowledge of psychology, I am not a licensed psychologist or psychiatric professional. I am not practicing in the field. So if you have a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a psychiatrist, please do actually consult them first if you have some sort of practical health plan. If you have some sort of set health planning structure with your practitioners, so please consult them first. But if you want to bring this up to them or do your own research on it, then by all means. So here's one method that usually is done to help in detection of porn addiction. To see, one method you could do is see how long you can actively go without watching it. Now, that might sound easy enough, like, oh, I can go 2 months without even typing big jiggly milk titties into the search bar. I could go 2 months without doing that. Now, though, yes, you might be able to, here's a way to actually detect in those 2 months whether you could be addicted is, and again, this is, heard something in that tree. God, for a second I thought I saw something in it. Here's a way to actively, like, tell during that period of time, or a way that you can tell in that period of time if you potentially are. Because not in psychology, it's not just about depriving yourself of it. It's actively, it's not about the goal of that method would not just to see like how long, if you can actually go this amount of time with it. It's during that period of time whether or not you actually feel an encroaching urge to do so. Like if you, now I'm not just saying like just feeling an urge to, obviously you feel an urge to watch porn if you watch it, or if you feel the need to jerk off or things like that, or sex or any of that sort of thing. You feel the impulse somewhat to want to engage in it. But I'm saying if you pick a, like say, pick a date. If you pick a date, like say 2 months, like I said, 2 months from when you decided to start it, and during that time, see if you're over obsessing, like psychologically, if you're, and cognitively, see if you're over obsessing and constantly thinking about that date. Like, it's not just that you can make it to that date, because if you're able to make it to that date without actively engaging in watching pornographic content, yeah, fine, but pay attention to whether you're actively thinking about it constantly. Not even just so much the pornographic content, like thinking about it psychologically, just thinking about the date of when you're gonna get back into watching it. Like if you're constantly thinking, oh, okay, just 5 more weeks, just 5 more weeks and then I'll be able to do it. 5 more weeks, it's only 5 more weeks. 5 more weeks and then I'll be able to get back to doing it. Okay, now it's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks and I'll be able to get back to doing it. I'll be able to keep using it. It's going to be fine. I'm going to make it through this. I will show that I'm not addicted because I'm going to be able to get to that point and I'm going to be able to keep doing it as much as I want after that. So pay attention to if you're, or try to pay attention if you can, to if you're overly obsessed, if you are obsessing internally over the date of when you have set to continue doing it. And this isn't even just applied to pornography. Things such as recreational drugs, if you set a date to stop for marijuana or heroin or cocaine, if you just like, if you think you're on dead, huh? Oh, cute. Little birdhouses on a random tree. Again, I never saw that once in Toronto. And my voice is cracking like Scooby, not Scooby-Doo, like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Like Zoinks Gang. Anyway, pay attention. If you think you're just a casual drug user, like, if you just casually smoke, if you casually do cocaine, if you casually do heroin and it's not overbearing in your life and a constant use to a point where it's causing physical debilitation or psychological debilitation and things like that, dependency or absorption of loneliness, trying to absolve loneliness with it or trying to absolve depression with it fully, if it's not getting to that point, then you can use that method as well, just as long as paying attention to whether the date of when you go back on it is the very prevalent thing in your mind. Okay, so that's one method. Another one would be, I had all these in my head before from my brushing up on my psychological research and stuff, so great. It's cold out, dissociating, I'm losing track of it right now. There was a second one that was going to lead into what I've been doing, not to test if I'm addicted, but I feel that it could be a good method to test if you are addicted. God, what was it? Hold on a second, I'm going to think about it. Okay, bingo, just got it in my mind. And also, we're back at the exact same roundabout crossing section from the video before this. Okay, I just got it back in my mind. So, that was the first method. Another method could be, while you're engaging in watching pornography, pay attention to this, because I'm actually, even though I feel like for years I haven't been addicted to pornography, I've consumed it, I believe, in a healthier way. and just I haven't been dependent on it or anything like that, or I haven't been using it to absolve any form of depression or anything of the sort. Like, absolve it. People use it at certain things like that to, at points, cope, or for, again, sexual entertainment and enjoyment, and just self-sexual connectivity, discovering their sexuality and things like that. Or for polyamorous people, but anyway, what I'm saying is, though all of that, even though I have heavy respect personally for people in the work and performing, and I greatly engage with the actual content and enjoy it, the sensualism of the pornographic content and the intimacy of it that's being shown, I am guilty of actually doing this at points, like in my past, at points doing this. Not always, but at points I did do this, where, and I think this is a good method to test, and from what I've researched, something similar to this is this method's similar to this, but I think this one is a bit different. Again, I'm not saying I created it because it's similar in many ways. I'm just saying it's a way to possibly test it. I actually used it, now 2 years ago, when I was actually testing to see if I was addicted to pornography. But even though I'm guilty of doing this at points, again, I think it's very clear that I'm not, for, again, me personally and from what I've described. But to test, to see if you are. Basically, once you're actually in the process of masturbating and to the video content and jerking off, and when you finally do ejaculate to the visual stimulation of the performers, once you actually come and fucking blow your load, whether you have masculine genitalia or feminine genitalia, whatever, check to see, keep track of yourself to see if you, once you do that, if you, let me wait for this car to pass, if you actively, immediately close the video and the tab, like on whatever device you're using, or hell, if you're more old school, using magazine of some kind, pornographic magazine or book, picture book, things like that. Pay attention to if you, I know most people, there are many people who close their eyes. That's not what I'm saying, close their eyes while orgasming. That's not what I'm saying. That's a neurological reaction to it. I'm saying if you actively, let's use computers as the example. If you close the tab immediately, you pause the video and you just close the tab. I think this is a good method to see whether you're actually engaging with what is being shown, or if you're just doing it to get this sensation of a high. Or it can even relate to people's moral beliefs towards, or hypocritical beliefs towards sex work and things like that. If you might even be dehumanizing the performers, God, I'm out of breath right now. If you're closing the tab immediately, basically just, even if you're not addicted, if you're just using the art that's being shown as a means to get off, like, for your own hedonistic or more egoistic benefit, basically just using the performers as a prop for your own self-gratification. And it's not like, I've talked about this in my Peterborough videos, where it's not like I'm engaging sexually and sensually with another person or people through a visual medium or physically. I'm attracted to the sense of what this is gonna do to me, basically, the effect it's gonna have on me. And then immediately just closing the tab and just throwing the performers to the side, like as if you were, or another form of sex work, if you were having sex with a prostitute and then you just immediately hopped off them and went to the washroom and threw them a towel and said, clean yourself up. Just dehumanize them, use them as base. That, in my opinion, is objectification. People say that pornography is inherently objectifying. I don't believe so at all. Using it like that, in my opinion, is objectification. So, or sex work using it in that light is objectification. That is a very dark path right there. I am not going to walk through that right now while filming this. I'm going to walk along the side of the road here, because there's not too many cars. I'm going to walk along this grass patch. There's a bike, or is this a bike lane? There's a shoulder lane here where cars aren't supposed to technically be driving unless it's an emergency. It's probably made for smaller vehicles. And just a bike. Yeah, it's a bike lane. It's got the bike symbol in it. Oh, and it's just a further grass patch. Okay. So I feel, but going off the whole hedonistic usage of it, if you're not addicted and you're just using it for your own, fully your own gratification, which I think is based on my morals and logical ethics, is well, pretty sick and pretty. I think if you're doing that, you should really self-reflect and examine like how you're using pornography. If you're just clicking away like immediately after you come, so you can use, but you can also, I think, use this method again to see if you're potentially addicted to it, to see if you're just using it to get a sense of euphoria and then just ditching the product. So that's method 2. Now the third one, which I'll bring up here, is one that I've been doing recently and I've been really enjoying, not again for the purpose of testing if I'm addicted personally, but again, I feel that this could be, we're back at the statues, the metal, well, the deteriorating metal statues from the video before this. I'm going to walk through them to, if you saw the last one, add to more of their history, I guess. Anyway, God, it is, I guess it's from all the walking I've been doing, but I'm out of breath. So, this method, I've been doing recently just because I enjoy it. I actually enjoy this, just for entertainment and my passions relating to sexual artistry, and sexual performance. But I think it could be a good method to test if you're addicted as well. And it relates to some form of self-control, again. Kind of similar, I guess, to the first method, in a way. So, what I've been doing recently is actually, I have literally just been taking time to simply, might as well stop for talking about this one. That might be why I'm out of breath, is that I'm walking and talking a long distance. I'm actually going to put my tripod down for a sec and just speak. So, I think, well, let me explain what I've been doing. Let me actually go away from the road to explain a bit better, so you maybe be able to hear me better. I've actually recently been just taking time to solely just, at points on days when I wanna, that is a mat in the middle of this little open grass patch. I thought you were another animal. I've been taking time to just solely watch pornography. Now, I don't, like, just watch it, not masturbate to it, and so it might be a bit TMI, so if you want to skip past this, go ahead, but not, like, engage sexually with it, like, my own, like, sexually myself. Just taking time to actually watch the video, and just fully, and not even naked, just fully clothed, just taking time to watch the video and just enjoy the actual, the work of it, enjoy the sexual performance, the actors, the camera work, just enjoy the sensualism of it. And I personally, because I have a passion for, well, sexual entertainment, and I'm polyamorous, I've really been enjoying it. I've just been enjoying watching people make love. I've just been enjoying watching the experience. And I haven't, even if you get aroused by it, I've just been taking the time to solely watch it. So, and I think this could be, again, a good method for, psychiatry standpoint, testing if you're addicted. So here's a way, what you do is what I'm explaining right now. God, now I'm getting some articulation issues, it seems. So what you do, just literally keep your clothes on, find your favorite pornos, and just watch it. Just take time, and this doesn't have to be like all the time. Like, you obviously can have your enjoyment of sexual entertainment, masturbate to it. Just get in a safe and not overbearing way, get your fetishes onto it and your kinks and all that. But just take time every once in a while to test if you're addicted. Just plug it into the search bar and watch it. Just look at it. Just actively engage with it, like, just visually. And, well, even if you're engaging, like, sexually, if you're, in my opinion, engaging with it well, cognitively you'd be engaging with it too, again, with the sensualism of it and enjoying the actual performance. But just take time to not engage with it, like, physically yourself sexually, and just cognitively enjoy it. Like, relax to it just by purely watching it. And I think, and if you're trying to test if you're addicted, don't just, like, watch all your stuff and then turn it all off and then you go and masturbate and then you jerk off. Don't do that. If you want to really take it a step further, then just don't even jerk off for the rest of the day. Just watch it and then just go. Just do anything else you have to do or you want to do, and just don't jerk off. Jerk off tomorrow. And if another way to test if you may be addicted, jerk off without watching pornography. See if you can actually still get hard, or, well, not relating to men, get hard, or for masculine genitalia, my phone is dying, that's why I just lit up. For masculine genitalia, see if you get hard, or for feminine genitalia, get wet, or if it's intersex, mix of the both. Mix of the both. Well, then, whichever one is more prevalent in terms of your sexual function, I don't know you personally, but just see what gets you, and then see if you get able to get genitalia-wise stimulated without watching the sexual entertainment. Because sometimes, unfortunately, a side effect of porn addiction or a sex addiction as well, in some regard, it can be, especially with masculine genitalia and andrology, erectile dysfunction could potentially be an issue. I'm not as familiar in gynecology. I think it might be as well. A possible side effect could be weaker stimulation of the clitoris, and then possibly, well, again, it might just be, again, you know, I'm not going to speak to that until I research more about it, but I think it might be more of weaker stimulation of the clitoris, even though the clitoris is, well, has some of the most nerve endings in the entire human body. It's heavily prevalent and active, which also I found out many people don't know, and I'm not afraid to admit this, that despite my research of sexology, a lot of people don't actually know the true size of the clitoris, which was discovered in 1998. Forget the doctor's name, but it was a gynecology researcher, I'm pretty sure. Well, it must have been in some regard. But they found out the true size of the clitoris actually extends inward, inside, underneath the labia, and behind somewhat, I believe, well, it extends behind, I guess, somewhat of the vaginal tube, and yeah, it extends downward, and again, it has some of the most nerve endings in all of the human body. But anyway, I'm not afraid to admit that, because I was ignorant to that. I didn't know that. I learned a piece of information in sexology. It's what comes with learning. But anyway, I wasn't getting back on topic. God, I just lost my train of thought again for a second. Oh, yeah. Just watch the porn without jerking off to it to see if you could potentially be addicted. And also, again, not even just addiction. See about your philosophical attitudes and moral attitudes towards sex work and people performing in pornography. See, like, genuinely, and also like see about your consumption of pornography. If like what pornography you're consuming, if the companies that are making the pornography, that the studios that are making the pornography that you watch, how they're treating their performers, what camera work they're using, like if they're over fetishizing or over sexualizing their performers or the actual scenarios that they're in, if they're making very encroaching story scenarios, which unfortunately in much mainstream pornography there's unfortunately a high prevalence of that. But anyway, so see if like they're very honing in on like the performer's genitalia while they're ejaculating, or if they're just having a high prevalence on their genitalia, if they're putting them in like very before the sex starts, if they're putting in like portraying them, I guess, in more of a story fashion, if they're like very overly sexually promiscuous. And again, I'm not knocking sexual promiscuity, because that's, to do that job you have to be in some regard sexually promiscuous. I'm just saying, like, if they're portraying them as being like let's see, oh, I see you left your cock out on the table, or like, let me help you with that. Oh, I'm a very bad girl, or things like that. Like, just, I can't even act out like the really piss poor like over sexualization there. Just, if they're putting a very like, if the events leading up to it, and there's nothing wrong with like talking like dirty, in my opinion, like if that's arousing, like sexual talk, but if they're portraying it as like if just their everyday appearance is just them like gushing over, like just gushing, like being overly sexual is what I'm saying. Again, I'm a bit flustered right now. I can't think of another word. Just, I think you know what I'm trying to say. So just see how they're portraying their performers, or the stories. Again, this is like, here's what I'll bring up an example. One studio that I actually think, in terms of treating the sex workers themselves, the performers and all that, and making sure that they're actually they're well taken care of health-wise, and just in terms of actual camera work, not over fetishizing their bodies, and in a sense dehumanizing them, I think, and actually paying them fairly enough in a capitalist system, sadly, is this studio called Vixen. Now, again, this is from what I've seen of them. A pornographic studio called Vixen. They're have very good cinematography, very good at treating their performers, from what I know, or at least the performers that mainly work with them. And again, how they actually shoot the scenes and the scenarios they're in. However, it's very clear that they are trying to do this, because, well, it seems like their intention to do this. Again, people will disagree on it, like to say, well, sexual arousal varies and all that, which it does, but I do think it's you can make the argument that there are some things that really just are encroaching and shouldn't be fetishized. Again, I more so have a problem with over sexualization and over fetishization, not just simply sexualizing or fetishizing many things, or many things, not everything is what I'm saying. But again, I'm saying that I think there are certain things that really should just be left off the table. But what I really wish that company would change and stop doing is their stories, their plots in their pornos are just really bad. Like, really, really encroaching. Like, there's a reason a lot of people who I talk to who watch the same thing say, like, they skip past that part. Yeah, there's a reason they skip past that part, because leading up to the sex is very much over fetishization of, like, black male rape, and just, and like a schoolgirl, like, very, like, young age-related fetish. It's just, their stories are very encroaching, like what leads up to it. Not every one of their videos has that, but unfortunately a lot of them do, which is, again, I think is really very bad. I think it's very poor. So just simply watch it. And I've just been doing it because, again, I enjoy it. I enjoy the performance of it. I enjoy the sexuality of it. I enjoy the sensualism, the platonic or romantic intimacy, if it's two couples doing it or whatever else. I enjoy just observing it. I guess that's a voyeuristic tendency there, but, well, obviously it is. To watch pornography is to be in some sense voyeuristic, but anyway, my phone is about to run out of storage. I gotta upload these videos. So that's another method you could try, is just simply watch it for your enjoyment, if you end up actually enjoying it, just simply watching it and then doing other tasks, or to test if you're addicted. So, yeah, that's a possible recommendation. I don't know if that helped. Maybe that helped. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed these first two videos of me exploring the Orleans district of Ottawa, and I will be exploring more of Ottawa soon. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get back to where I'm situated for the night, and, yeah. See ya.